Chairman Schiff has prevented the witness from answering certain questions we have.
What happened today confirms, even worse, just how poorly Adam Schiff is handling this process and denying the ability for Republicans to even ask basic questions.
Heads are exploding behind closed doors right now, preventing time after time after time, question after question after question after question, to allow Republicans to be able to ask the questions. This resolution should go down in flames.
Well, Donald Trump Jr. joins us now, Executive Vice President of Trump Organization, son of the president, author of the upcoming book, Triggered, How the Left Thrives on Hate and Wants to Silence Us, and is an example of that with the new rules they're going to be voting on tomorrow on impeachment?
Of course it is. I mean, we've seen what the left has done ever since this impeachment inquiry started back in 2016 when my father won the election. November 9th, 2016 is when this inquiry started. The goalposts are never ending. They're always moving. They're changing the rules. You see people, Republicans, who are in that room saying, hey, we tried to ask a question. They won't even let us ask. So they get their soundbite out. Adam Schiff leaks it, as he likely did with all of my transcripts. Remember when they were changing the dates to get the bombshells?
Only the bad stuff.
Only the bad stuff, but it wasn't even bad stuff. They changed the date, so it appeared otherwise, right? It appeared you had information before you actually did, as opposed to after the rest of the world had it.
Right.
And that's what they've done. Whatever happened to democracy dying in darkness? You know, I see the Washington Post do this, that democracy dies in darkness. They have no problem with this entire inquiry going on in darkness, not one mention of it. But they will go to bat for Baghdadi. They will go to bat and say he's an austere religious scholar. So between the craziness of the left and their marketing department in the mainstream media, you're getting a message to the people that is so biased, it's so flagrantly wrong, that they're really influencing a lot of people, and it's a disgrace.
Will the people buy it? Are the people smart enough to know what's really going on?
The reality is this. The left does not think they are. You've seen how they respond to people. You saw how they responded when we launched the 2020 campaign in Orlando. They go, did you see those people? They're in their flip-flops. That's their formal attire. The level of disdain the elite and the left has for the hardworking men and women of this country is disgusting. I give them a lot more credit. They see it. They've seen the rules of the game. They see the never-ending movement of the goalposts. They get that they are being duped, and I promise you they're going to come back out in 2020 and say, enough of this. Donald Trump is in office because of this kind of behavior. And rather than changing that behavior, they've doubled down, they've tripled down, they've quadrupled down, and they just make it worse for themselves.
And, Don, yesterday the narrative was, and we played a montage, the walls are closing in on Donald Trump.
How many times we're going to get him this time? Guys, I liked this movie 15 times ago the first time I heard it. Like, give me a break.
Right, exactly. But Tom Brokaw was on another channel yesterday, and he said that unlike when they had the goods on Richard Nixon, the Democrats do not have the goods on your father. And so that brings up the question, why are they doing it?
There's no there. You know, they bring in, they do the usual thing, right? They bring in another guy that they believe is beyond reproach, right? Like they did with Mueller, right? Well, he's a decorated guy. He was, head of the FBI. Meanwhile, it took about 30 seconds for people to realize when they put him on the stand that he'd never even seen the Mueller report. It was a joke. So now they'll do it with this guy. He's a decorated... Well, now he turns out he's, talking to the Ukraine, or he wanted to edit the transcript.
Did they give Michael Flynn that type of deference?
And by the way, did they give Tulsi Gabbard, who's a veteran, did they give her? No. You only get to be absolved.
Agent.
Yeah, she's a Russian agent. You only get total absolution if you are a leftist veteran. Not a veteran, just a leftist. If you're on their side, you can do no wrong. And
but we don't know if he's a leftist. We just say that.
Yeah, sure.
Hey, Don, the media, it's in New York. You have Hollywood making movies. They don't get middle America. They don't get where we're all from.
Yep.
How does your dad, because your dad's from New York?
He gets it because he spent his life in construction. He was building buildings. I mean, he would spend the time on those construction sites, not just listening to some guy in a glass office behind a computer screen. He'd get on the ground, and that's why I was like, listen, he can go talk to working-class Americans because he has his whole life. Eric and I, we went to boarding school in central Pennsylvania. We sort of went through, our formative years in the Rust Belt. So while we may be the son of a New York billionaire, we had a good understanding. We grew up in Pottstown, Pennsylvania. That's Firestone tires.
He also put you on the docks, right? You were docking boats and doing
I started off as a dock attendant. I joke. We're the only sons of billionaires who can drive a D10 Caterpillar. I write about it in the book Triggered because people say, well, how is it possible? Don, you grew up the son of a billionaire in New York City, went to an Ivy League school. How are you a conservative? And I sort of outline the path to how we got there. And
Your
the
mom
reality
said
is
she didn't pay you a lot of money. She told me, she said the only reason you got a raise later is because you finally asked for it.
You had to.
And she said she flew first class, but y'all were in coach.
Oh, without question. I mean, my parents did a
Still
very
are.
good job of that. Yeah, oftentimes, yes. My parents did a good job of making sure we understood the value of a dollar, that we didn't take any of those things for granted. You know, the other stuff I write about, you know, my mom escaped communist Czechoslovakia, right? So I go into the book at how that mentality from, you know, escaping this ideology that's now being pushed on Americans as a mainstream thought. My grandparents, who are still, you know, my grandmother who's still alive, in tears, wondering, like, you can't let this happen to this country. You can't let socialism and communism come in here. It always sounds so good on paper, and then it destroys everything.
And your family built this empire. There's a story when I was down in Washington this weekend that the family is thinking about selling the lease to the Trump Hotel down in Washington.
Well, listen, we'll explore it. The reality is this. Everyone's saying we're getting so rich off of the... We can't sell or, you know, rent rooms to people who are in other governments. We voluntarily did that. We can't maximize the assets that they have, and they're still writing about that. We literally volunteered to not do any new international
it sounds like
deals.
you're leaning toward doing it.
We'll see what happens, right? The reality is this. Unlike Hunter Biden, who magically became an international businessman the second his father stepped on that world stage as VP, we've been international business people for decades, but we can't even do those kind of deals anymore. We can't even continue, and because we chose not to, because we didn't think it was appropriate. So that's the double standard. The media said, oh, you're enriching yourselves. We literally stopped. He literally started when he had the first chance he got to take advantage of his father's office. We did exactly the opposite. But again, when you look at the world through the mainstream media's lens, you know, they see Baghdadi as an austere religious scholar, but they see Nick Sandmann, a 15-year-old high school kid in a MAGA hat. They've seen him as a homegrown terrorist. This is the sickness that we're up against, and it's pervasive, and it's getting worse because Trump derangement syndrome is real, and the only cure is 4 more years.
And that's interesting because I heard great things about the hotel in that it was doing very well. Republicans, the only place where Republicans really felt comfortable, but you still sell it.
Listen, we'll explore our options. That's what we have to do. But again, we can't maximize a lot of, you know, that asset as business people. So we have a responsibility to that because, again, it's D.C. It's all international business, and we chose not to do that. And then every time we do, we get another lawsuit about this and another lawsuit about that. It's almost easier just to stay away from it, right?
Make it a post office again.
And that's what the left has tried to do, and that's okay. You know, again, we chose to do this not because this was a business plan like it was for Hunter Biden. We chose to do this because it's the right thing to do for America. It's why my father got into this job. Not because he needed this job, but because he wanted to do the right things for working-class Americans. He's executing that plan. He's doing it every day, despite an unprecedented amount of incoming from the left, from the media, and for all of the people who love the establishment.
Donald Trump Jr., thanks so much.
New book called Triggered coming out shortly. Thank you, sir.
Next Tuesday.